is Rogue, formerly known as Savage. He's 3-1 this season, actually, a relatively successful player. And also, he has a perfect record against Protoss, 2-0. Last season, he wasn't so successful. We're worried about the here and the now, and the here and the now is, this guy's good against Protosses.
Is big. I mean, this guy, like we said before, probably not favored against the guy he's up against, who's going to be classic. But we said before even this whole Pro League started, this guy is really solid. And so far, he's even proving to be better even than that. But he's going to be up against this guy, Classic, who so far is 41-34 total in Pro League, and he's undefeated, actually, 2-0.
2-0, and has won his only match against Zerg. He has qualified for Codes. He's able to get through Code, very tough thing to do. Qualifies for Code, goes to Codes. He's on a roll right now, and I would not want to be the one to face him. But Rogue, he could be the one to take that 3-1 for JINAIR Green Wings, and you can see Classic is nervous. He's stressed. He let out a sigh, trying to calm himself down. We're not going to waste any more time. We're jumping into this fourth match. Rogue versus Classic, Zerg versus Protoss, JINAIR Green Wings against SKT1 T1, the 2014 Pro League with Wolf and Brendan.
LTA는 SK텔레콤.
Up here on the top left, the Zerg player for JINAIR Green Wings. This is Rogue.
And to the bottom left in the Nexus, SK Telecom T1's Classic.
In the Nexus clothes.
Yes.
He's wearing the Nexus skin.
He's blue. I just couldn't identify what color was fast enough because it got blocked on my screen and all I could see was his face. But he is spawning as blue to the bottom left. And we are not horizontal spawns, something that Rogue can be very happy with. Yep. Rogue is 3-1 in Pro League 2014, as we mentioned before, and he wants to take his 2-0 streak against Zerg and make it a 3-0.
The big thing that makes this even more exciting is that both of these guys are feeling good in terms of their own records going into this match. So they're both going to be very confident, especially Classic. He hasn't lost yet, and
he's up against a 10 pool. We have a 10 pool going down here for Rogue, and you can see this little smirk on his face. He wants to be aggressive, he wants to punish here, but unfortunately for him, he's going to get scouted right away. Hello. And
the other girl seems pretty excited about that.
Sees the pool, will start a forge on the low ground, and will likely lose that forge, actually, but it's going to keep him alive. But I think the game from after the point of the Zerglings getting to Classic's base will stabilize. But we're going to have already a game that starts off with action and more action, and it's not going to be your standard Protoss versus Zerg, not even close. Starts a Queen with this, actually, since he's been scouted. He just wants to get the Queen out faster to get more injects.
Yeah, he knows he's forced stuff at the Protoss base, even after those two Zerglings starting 2 more drones. Not going to go full aggressive with this. Yeah,
and actually with only two Zerglings, he's going to be able to stop this. And, I don't... The thing I said earlier about the Lings being able to kill a Forge is not really accurate, especially considering he only has 2. So the Forge is going to stay up, Gateway is going to go down. But this, of course, all of this delays the Nexus.
Yeah, I mean, Classic is not 100% sure exactly what's coming across, or if Rogue is going to commit this yet, so he has to be this safe. And on Rogue's end, he gets a faster Queen.
Yeah, he gets a faster Queen, runs up immediately, and forces, of course, a cannon, and he knows the Nexus will be delayed. Starts his own hatchery first. The probe identifies that there are only 2 Zerglings, and he wants to keep checking that. He also wants to see if there's a 3rd hatchery going up. He's just trying to keep the probe alive as long as he can to be able to get this information. With the Queen coming down, the probe down to 5 hit points, it's going to get taken out. Verifies the hatch, and Nexus is started at home. So game starts with a hiccup here, but it's going to transition to a more normal game. We've seen Classic play really, really awesome Protoss versus Zerg. I feel like what we might see on this map is something that we've seen Youngshik do. I don't know if you remember the game where he made a bunch of Phoenixes and then attacked with them and killed the Hydras with the Phoenixes. He just picked them up. That's something I think we could see from Classic on this map. But his build is a little bit messed up because his Nexus is late, his core is going up at an awkward timing.
It's all a bit funky. It's a bit awkward, like you said. I mean, it's as if two runners were starting to race against each other and they both tripped at the start. But Classic, stubbed his toe also.
Hey, don't look at that magazine. Look at that magazine. Look at the game.
You should be ashamed.
You should be embarrassed. Looking at those male models. You're not even a male. You can't wear those clothes.
It doesn't make any sense.
You're not going to buy any of those clothes. Why are you reading that? They're not going to date those guys either. There's a Stargate.
There it is.
There it is. Sorry.
You're correct, yeah.
Yep, there it is. Right there.
Stargate is here.
Not seen.
Not yet.
The Overlord will likely see it, and if it does not, the Phoenix will show itself.
Overlord went into the main base, doesn't see anything just yet, so he's probably going to want to send this guy over.
Yep. Gas is being taken, double gas going up here at the natural. He's got his extra queens now, and he will send that drone to take the third base here safely, knowing that his opponent went for Forge first, of course, because he forced that with his early pool. And so taking a third base for him right now is totally reasonable. But the gas is first, though. We'll see what he's got planned. He actually doesn't send a drone over. And what's it going to be, Classic? You going to stick with the Classic Phoenix or go Oracle? Goes Oracle.
Yep, waiting for that 150. Here comes this Overlord back. He's not going to spot anything. Here comes the other one. This is going to spot it.
Yeah, you will see the Oracle now. And it's only a matter of time. There it is. Flies away. Second Overlord is going to want to get out of here now, though, because there's nothing else to see in the main base. He wants to keep that Overlord alive. It's really important because that Overlord can spot a third Nexus timing. And we see two-base Lair.
Yep, Lair before third base. Spores up. Macro Hatch, though.
Yeah, Macro Hatch. This is interesting. I wonder what his plan is here.
He starts a Roach Warren.
Yeah, let's start a Roach Warren. He could actually just use Speed Roaches to be aggressive. And the Overlord will die and not scout a third Nexus. And no, it's not a Macro Hatch.
That's not a Macro Hatch, actually, yeah.
To the bottom right?
Yeah, I was looking in the base. I'm like, I guess it's a Macro Hatch, but I did not expect to see it all the way down in the bottom right. That is a Macro Hatch. And he's going to come in there and see that Lair with his Oracle and be like, what? Two-base Lair?
Yeah, I mean, he's probably... This is a great mind game by Rogue. I can just see it on his face. He knows from the very beginning.
From the beginning.
Yeah. He knows from the very beginning he's got a plan and a strategy. I think FDR once said that. It worked out for him. And we have Void Rays coming out. We have the Robo coming out. And he's probably expecting Nidus play or something aggressive, but what's really coming is just a third base that's hidden. He's going to have Roaches for pressure and aggression at the third base. And he takes his own third as far as Classic knows, but it's going to be a fourth base, so he's going to be on a decent amount of economy. The third base here is still like not as fast as he would like it to be, and it's hard for him to transfer drones. He basically just has to make his drones there.
Yeah. I mean, Classic's he's got to know that Rogue either was feeling unsafe or something messed up in his build. He wanted to go for some tech first. Here, this Overseer is going to come in and see the Void Ray.
Yeah, and that's going to be the last thing to see is respect the Void Ray Oracle. Respect it as you die. Same with the Changeling. No respect. 0 kills on the Oracle, but a lot of scouting.
Yeah. Infestation Pit goes down. That Burrow's about to finish. Roach Speed as well. The Robo Bay on the way for Classic.
Infestation Pit likely for Swarm Hosts, so you can use those to continue to trade for units. And from the perspective of Classic, is like, well, I have a third base before you, and I'm mining that, so I don't need to attack you. So this gives them time to get those Swarm Hosts out. One Void Ray is going to make these Roaches want to get out of here.
Roaches are going to have to respect this as well. Can never have enough respect.
It's actually going to go on the high ground and ignore the Void Ray for a little while. Oh, considered it. Could burrow here to actually save the Roach.
Decides not to.
I don't know if he decided. That's really cruel of you to say, Brendan.
He's like, I don't like that Roach. No,
nah.
you can die. Whatever.
I could maybe force him to use detection on his Oracle or bring an Observer over, but nah.
Nah.
I think it was just a lapse in judgment more than a decision.
Swarm Host being started here, as well as the Locust.
The look on Classic's face says to me confusion.
Well, he does have his mouth wide open. He's like, oh, what?
I like this. Piling on the high ground, cannons. He's like trying to figure out what's happening. He's like 3-base mass Roach. Are you going to Swarm Host before I have Colossi? Okay, maybe that's what you're doing. Gonna make a bunch of extra cannons to hold off. And the Oracle's checking for hidden bases. Now he's starting to think, all right, something is not right here.
This is that pro gamer sense, or even just a player who's played a lot of StarCraft. He's like, this just doesn't make any sense.
It just doesn't add up.
Something, yeah, exactly. The math does not make any sense.
It's like the same. It's the same feeling when you get your credit card statement for the month and you go, wait a minute, this is way too much money spent. And then you start talking to your daughter and you look through the actual statement and you find out that she was sending way too many text messages.
Yes.
That's that feeling that he has right now. By the way, this Spire being over here is a little bit awkward because it means that Void Rays could fly over and kill it relatively uncontested. Could also warp in units to attack it if he finds out. But he hasn't actually sent that probe up to where the hatchery is. He's still on the low ground, so he still doesn't know.
He still has no idea. Another quote-unquote 4th, which would actually be the 5th for Rogue, is being started very, very far away from Classic. He doesn't want to get that really close, especially with so many Void Rays on the map. These Swarm Hosts being pretty up close.
Yeah, you know, I don't know if I like this because with the Oracle for Vision and the Void Ray there, he could actually just come over and kill it. He's gonna snipe a hatch and then recall before he does this. So this is actually really scary for Rogue right now. He has to respond to that Void Ray harass. Cannons going down left and right here. A few more Void Rays spawning to try to help deal with that. Did he get the hatch? Looks like he got chased away by that Queen. And 21 Mutalisk. The Spire hidden. 21 Mutalisk. What? He is hiding a base. Oh no, this is not what he wants.
He does not want that base there.
This is so funny that he does this, but it's a smart choice considering what he's seen. But he does not know 22 Mutalisks are coming his way very soon. He's clearing up a ton of creep, which is going to make it harder for that base to be attacked, so he thinks.
22 Mutalisks is too much to handle right now. He does not have enough anti-air. He doesn't have Phoenixes. He has 3 Stargates, but he's not going to be able to produce them out. All 22 are here. 2 more being produced. They're going to chase down these Void Rays.
And here we go. He needs a recall immediately. The Mothership Core, 16 hit points. And that means he will have 1 Photon Overcharge. He has 1 Photon Overcharge. This Warp Prism spots us. He could actually kill the Spire. He could kill the Spire if he decides to warp in here. He hasn't seen it yet. Warp Prism also scouted, so this base will be revealed, which means he's going to lose that. Fleet Beacon, though. 4 additional cannons. 3 Phoenixes. And oh, he doesn't find the base. He will, though. He will find the base. Well, those rocks are so revealed right now.
They're beyond revealed. This one pylon is going to go down and power all of those cannons.
Yep, these 3 Zealots. Oh, he needs to cancel. You know what? He might actually just not cancel because he wants the Mutalisk to stick around. He wants the Mutalisk to stick around where he gets his Phoenix count up. That's actually possibly an intentional decision by him.
Time is money, friend.
Indeed. Another hatch goes up over here. It is spotted. Vision is half of StarCraft, really. And the Mutalisk here actually trading pretty efficiently against the cannons, but any Mutalisk he can kill. Oh, he's going to use the Overcharge, maybe. That would be almost absurd for him to do, because the Mutalisk can just fly away and not care.
And in the meantime, after seeing all of these mutas and being able to get away like this, continuing with the 3 Phoenixes at a time, that range upgrade as well is coming out, as well as the +2 to air.
This is going to be, oh my god, this is so smart by Classic. He's going for an attack here. He's clearing up creep. He's going to try to force Mutalisk back while he's got these Phoenixes here. Corruptors, on the other hand, blindside the Phoenixes a little bit. This composition is relatively easily countered with Phoenixes before the Corruptor count gets too high. But he already has those Void Rays, don't forget the support. So if he fights Corruptors with this straight up, he's going to be in a great spot. He needs more Phoenixes, though, and this could actually be the fight that decides everything. Goodbye, Mothership Core. There's a revelation on the Mutalisk, so he knows exactly where they're going to be. And the Phoenixes are not here yet. The Void Rays need to target the Corruptors, and so far they do. He may lose way too many, though. Oh my god, this is so close.
A ton of damage going on for the Void Rays. 10 more Mutalisks coming out. There's only the Phoenixes left, but a lot of these Mutalisks have been taken out. But with these 5 Corruptors, these Phoenixes are going to have a hard time, especially with the Mutalisk support.
He's just trying to target the Corruptors, and once he can eliminate those with that Phoenix range, he can fight the Mutas straight up. He needs more ground units, and the Corruptors being chased here. Try to turn around, gets 1 more Phoenix, maybe get a second one. Not quite. This base now spined up, so it's not going to be harassed by these Zealots. Zealots are going to be very sad. They're finding these Spine Crawlers are going to be very dead as well as they find them. And the Phoenixes here, not as useful now as they used to be. Still 20 Mutalisks on the map, 3 Colossi to fight ground armies. And what is happening, Brennan? These past 2 days of Pro League have been mind-blowing.
These 2 days have just produced some of the best games we've seen so far this entire season.
Goodbye, Queen. I'm so sorry. Your full energy will never be put to use. And
so much potential.
So much potential.
Died so young.
It wasn't kinetic energy, it was potential energy. Phoenix is coming to pick up some of these earlies. Not some of the most efficient use of Phoenix energy we've ever seen, but it's worth something. 92 drones versus 84 probes. Both players very drone and probe heavy. Not a lot of army supply. Phoenixes here are going to have to contend with the Mutalisk with Corruptor support. And look at this, just 3 Colossi walking over here. Not the most conventional use of Colossi, but definitely one way to avoid fighting static defense. Phoenix is here desperately trying to fight against the Corruptors. He needs Void Ray support, but he doesn't have any Voids. He doesn't have any Stalkers either.
He doesn't have either of those things, just like you mentioned. Those 3 Colossi over there continuing to attack. They did not take out that base, though. I'm not sure what he's going to do besides that with the Corruptors. There's nothing on the ground right now besides Zerglings for the Zerg.
I really want to know what the Corruptor upgrades are. I think he only has +1 attack. The Phoenixes have +2, and that's part of the reason why he's able to fight with them like this. The Colossi are going to kill this base, but luckily for Rogue, he's mined about half the minerals there, and it's going to be worth it. The Mothership Core is there for recalls. We're watching Phoenixes kill Corruptors, though, and with that range upgrade, they can fight a lot better. He's making 10 more Corruptors, though, now 9 additional ones, in addition to the ones that just finished. So he's going to have a massive Corruptor count. But then, if he has this many Corruptors, a switch to Void Rays could be devastating. Forge is being remade right now. This is crazy. Zealots over here will be shut down by these Lings, and 1 Spine probably going to be enough. +3 attack now on the way for any air units. And the Spire, Brendan, the Spire is going down. That means no more air units until he remakes one.
Yeah,
he only has one
Spire. Continuing with the air upgrades is Classic. Rogue, he doesn't have enough of a bank to do much besides get 2 Infestors, 3 Infestors.
Spire is down. 3 Infestors on the way, like you said. That 1 Spine Core actually was not enough for the Zealots, and the Zealots are fighting drones right now. Rogue is losing a lot of momentum in this game. He lost the base to the bottom right. He's losing all of his Harvesters here. He needs to pull them away. He needs to send all of his Mews over here. If he does that, this buys, again, more time for Classic. Classic knows he's killed the Spire, and now Mulus alone against this many Phoenixes with +2 in range. He needs those Corruptors to be nearby, but they're not in the right spot. Phoenixes are picking off Mulus left and right now.
Yeah, he's got to have those Corruptors for support. You cannot fight head-on like that, especially with the upgrades right now for these Phoenixes.
And the Phoenixes are just so much more maneuverable than those bulky Corruptors. They're able to find Corruptors one-on-one and fight them. By one-on-one, I mean 1 Corruptor versus the whole Phoenix force like this. Gets a second one. And Brandon, this is starting to look terrible for Rogue. He's losing way too much. He doesn't have that Spire ready. He needs to wait for it. And every Corruptor he loses is a big problem without being able to remake those. The bases to the bottom right are up, and these Zealots are trying to kill this hatch. Things are looking worse and worse for Rogue by the second. He's trying to get those Infestors out. 1 fungal on that pack of Phoenixes could change everything, but it's not going to be easy.
It's going to be very, very hard with so many Phoenixes to catch all of them and hope that your Infestors do not get picked up. It's going to be hard. You're going to have your Corruptors and your Mutalists there to support.
So many Phoenixes on the map. I think he has over 20. Pathogen Glands wasn't ready, so all the time that he made Infestors, he has to build up the energy for. He's going to actually try to defend his base with Phoenixes. It will be enough if he actually lifts up all these Zerglings. The 2 cannons almost getting killed there, but will be completed. Meanwhile, there's a huge attack at the Natural. This is going to force those Phoenixes back. He's got Archons, though! Stay away from the Archons!
Those guys are so scary. And you saw that bank coming up that Rogue was actually saving while that Spire was coming up. 15 more Mutalisks here.
If he can get fungals on the Phoenixes, Mutalisks are exactly what he wants.
That's his hope. He needs that.
And he needs to keep these Infestors burrowed, I feel, for that reason. Burrow the Infestors around, keep them hidden. There's no Observer with this army. There's no Oracle. There's nothing. There's no detection. 3 Mutalisks going to go down here for free. He needs the Infestors to get fungals. There are 7 Infestors. Okay, he's using the Burrow upgrade. And I like to see an Overseer with his army as well. He's going to lose a lot of economy, but he's going to take out this hatchery, or rather this Nexus. There's no way to save it. There's a bunch of cannons queued up, but guess what? They're not happening.
Yeah, I hope he didn't actually reveal those Infestors on those cannons, actually. He really wants to try to bait this fight and get good fungals. This is what he's hoping for. The Infestors are burrowed. Can he bait the fight?
He wants to. The Archons, though, as well. Not going to make this easy, and here we go! 1 fungal goes off on the Phoenixes, but it's not enough, and the Archons close the distance. The Infestors are exposed now. He might start to try to lift some of them. This is so scary. The Archons chasing those Infestors. He might lift 1 fungal. He goes down, hits a few of the Phoenixes. That one is much better. The Corruptor's doing so much damage, but the bank is in Classic's hands, and he is doing way too much to this Zerg army. Look at the supply of Rogue. He's now down to 123. He does not have enough support for his Phoenixes. 7 Swarmos right now. He's so desperate. He doesn't even know what the right answer is. He doesn't know what to build. There is no right answer here.
There is no right answer. 200 for Classic. This is the end of Rogue. 9 Swarm hosts. He's even having the +2 to air come up here. He desperately tries to change it to that +1 to attack, but it's just not going to be enough. Look at this Protoss army right now.
This is, I mean, there's nothing he can do. He's sitting there thinking, Well, I guess I better start my range upgrades for my Locust, which I never had earlier on in the game. Not going to be the answer. Sorry, Rogue. Classic is dismantling you here now. The fungal idea was a smart one. It was a desperate one, but the way he engaged, he just wasn't able to get the fungals he wanted. And already, Classic had some idea that this was going to be what he needed to do. Kills a base, recalls home. Having those Archons in his composition was key, because without those, he definitely would have lost his Phoenixes. That is for sure.
Yeah, that's 100%. Was so forward thinking to have those in his army. These Phoenixes still flying around right now.
He's just committed to his air. He has +3 attack on these Phoenixes. That's why he's able to fight. Against +1 Corruptors a lot of the time, they're not at +2 just yet. They're almost there. Archon's coming in, leading the charge here. Swarmos being picked up. The Phoenixes do not care. And here we go, SKT's Classic. Time warping on the Locust. 4 Colossi at the back. Archons, AoE galore, and goodbye, Rogue.
Rogue leaning back in his chair. He knows he's defeated. GG! We're going to another ace match.
Wow, Brendan, this week of Pro League has by far been the best. JINAIR versus SKT will go to that ace match. And what an incredible game by Classic. Having all the odds against him. The hidden base, the sneaky play, his base being scouted, the early pool from the beginning.